Hi everybody! This week I'm going to be telling you a story called The Workers in the Vineyard.
Story! Can I hear this story too?
Of course you can, Eddie. That's it, just sit there quietly and listen to the story. So Jesus wanted people to understand what the kingdom of heaven is like. So he told them a parable that's a very special story that went something like this. Once there was a landowner who owned a vineyard.
Vineyard?
Yeah.
What's a vineyard?
That's a place where they grow grapes on the vines.
Oh.
The landowner went out at 6 o'clock in the morning.
6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, it's just about when your mum and dad are getting up really early, and found some men to work for him. I will give you 1 shiny coin if you work in my vineyard today, he said to the men.
Wow, 1 shiny coin.
Yeah, and the men said, that's a deal.
Yeah.
The landowner went out again at 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 o'clock in the morning? I think I'm at school then.
That's right. Anyway, the landowner found some men hanging about in the marketplace. I will give you 1 shiny coin if you work in my vineyard today, he said.
A shiny coin.
And the men said, that's a deal.
Wow.
Then the landowner went out at noon.
Noon?
Do you know when that is, Eddie? It's about 12 o'clock, midday.
Is it when we have lunch?
Exactly. And the landowner found...
Can we have lunch?
Yeah, we'll have lunch when we finish the story, don't worry. And the landowner found some more men. I will give you 1 shiny coin if you work in my vineyard today, he told them. And the men said, that's a deal. Then he went again at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
3 o'clock? This is when I leave school, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's right, in the afternoon. And he found yet more men.
Oh, man.
I will give you 1 shiny coin if you work in my vineyard today, he said to them too. And the men said, that's a deal. Finally, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
5 o'clock?
Yeah.
That's when you have dinner, isn't it?
That's right. It's quite late in the afternoon. He found one last group of men just standing around. Why aren't you working? He asked them. Nobody's given us a job, they shrugged. Well, said the landowner, I will give you 1 shiny coin if you work in my vineyard today. The men said, that's a deal. And off they went to join the others. When the day was over, the workers all lined up for their pay. The landowner told his foreman, pay the last workers I hired first. Pay them first. So the foreman gave each of the last workers, those were the ones hired at 5 in the afternoon, 1 shiny coin. Then he paid all the other workers. The men hired at 3 in the afternoon, and at noon, 12 o'clock midday, and at 9 in the morning, and at 6 in the morning. He paid them 1 shiny coin as well.
Wait a minute. They all got 1 shiny coin.
They did.
But the people who start working very early in the morning got the same thing as the people who start working at the end of the day.
Yes.
That's strange.
What do you think the workers said? Do you want to hear?
I don't think they were happy they weren't at work in the morning.
I think you're right. That's not fair, complained the workers who had been hired at 6 in the morning. We worked hard all day in the hot sun, and you've given us the same as you gave the men who started at 5 and only worked for 1 hour.
Yeah.
But you know what the landowner said?
What?
It's perfectly fair, replied the landowner. You agreed to work for 1 shiny coin, and that's exactly what I have given you.
Yeah.
The men who were hired last agreed to the same thing. One shiny coin. And that's what I've given them. It is my money, and I can do what I like with it. Or are you just jealous because I have been so generous?
Yeah, perhaps. I think he's right.
And that's what Jesus said. And so, said Jesus, in the kingdom of heaven, the first will be last, and the last will be first.
Wow.
And that's the end of that amazing story. Now we can go and have lunch, Eddie.
Can you have lunch?
Yeah.
Can I have a shiny coin?
Well, let's see.